It is Wednesday, March 22nd, 2017. This is episode 9 of My Buddy Has a Podcast. I'm Ike.
And I'm Christian.
And it's been a wild week. It's been spring break. It's been so wild that I stayed at home.
Living the dream, man. Same here.
It's been a lot of just like me stressing out. It's just like, holy shit, I should be in class. And it's like, nah.
Dude, I have that feeling every year, like, once summer break starts, winter break starts, spring break starts, it's like I'm still feeling post-stress, like I should still be in class. I'm freaking out.
It's like I have this feeling every time I hear a loud car outside because it's like, holy shit, I didn't get the garbage out. Oh my god. It's like every time UPS rolls by, I had a heart attack and it's like, fuck.
My mom's gonna beat my ass.
My dad, one time he threatened to, if we didn't have the garbage out on that Tuesday, because the garbage comes by every Tuesday morning without fail, unless it's in the winter, because then it has to trudge up the mountain and it might be there at like 5 p.m. one time.
Oh, sad little truck.
So he said, you have to, if you don't get it out, you're going to drag it all the way to the middle school and back.
Why the middle school?
Because the middle school is like a mile and a half away.
Oh, so he just wants you to trug it there and then trug it back to be an asshole?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks, man.
We produce a lot of garbage. We're a big family, but spring break, have you been hearing about what people are doing in spring break?
No.
It's like people are like fucking with wildlife and getting drunk, like doing like shots off of starfish and shit. Like I wish I was joking.
That's
I saw this
fucking
picture
dumb.
of this dude like straight downing a beer on a starfish, like on its tentacles, which is weird because don't you think that tastes like not
Fishy.
good? Like why would you want fucking fishy beer?
Be nice to starfish, people. I like starfish.
Yeah, be nice to Pat. Well, Patrick was really shitty in those later seasons, so it's like it's like just desserts. These are fucking 20-somethings. And there's people down in Mexico acting like little shits and being like, build a wall, build a wall. And it's like, really, dude? You're gonna do this on their turf?
You're gonna pay for it.
It's like the ending of fucking Haunted Mansion where he gets dragged into hell from the chimney. It's like, you don't do that while you're in the mansion. You don't fuck with spirits.
That's fucking amazing.
Or in this case, Mexican people.
I've been meaning to do all of my work for the upcoming rest of the semester, and I've just been sitting at home playing Bloodborne, sleeping, and not paying attention to the news.
I've been catching Z's and playing PC games.
Playing PC games.
Catching
and
Z's,
that fucking Breath of the
PC.
Wild, right?
Oh shit, I got an update for that one. I got 2 more beasts put down. You know, like do you know what the plot is? I'm not gonna spoil it. Fuck it. So for the people who are in the know, who know what they're talking about, unlike baby Chris over here, I got 2 more legendary beasts put down. I finally hit 2 circles of stamina, so I can run a whole 15 feet without Link like having to catch his breath. I don't know what the fuck we were talking about. We had to pause the audio for a second there.
You were talking about Breath of the Wild and having 2 stamina bars.
Not stamina
Or
bars,
circles.
it's stamina circles.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
and
can glide now.
I can glide for longer than 15 seconds and take 5 steps with Link now. And climb more than a baby hill.
I can take a bunch of big ol' strides.
And then I get tired and I gotta take a nap.
I love his running animation in that game. He's like, ho, ho, ho.
He's ready. He's like, I gotta save Hyrule, but really slowly, but I'm still motivated.
Like, he looks like he should be going so much faster.
He's juiced, he's gassed, but he's going like 3 feet, and it's like, you're just trying to show off, aren't you?
Have you seen the running animation for Nier Automata?
I haven't.
Her legs are moving so fast.
Wait, no, yeah, it's like she's booking it. she's running a 5K in her mind. It's great.
It's when you can best see that booty. Which, by the way, I played the demo for that game, and fuck me, I need to get it.
What'd you think of it? Just give us a run through of what you felt through the... How long is the demo? Like 2 hours, I'm guessing?
No, the demo's probably about like 45 minutes of
You
gameplay.
had like 5,000 different things you were doing. You were telling me about like 3 different gameplay modes in 45 minutes?
Yeah, it's a lot. Fuck. So it's an amazing combination of like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, and just an RPG. Mm-hmm. The combat feels a lot more like Bayonetta than Devil May Cry to me.
Yeah.
You've got your, quick attacks, then your heavy attacks, and your lady has 2 swords. Her name's 2B.
Exactly. I was about to correct you and say she has a name.
She's got 2 swords. One's a long one, one's a short one. And the cool thing is, it seems like she never actually holds them, they kind of sit on her back and float a little, and she can throw them and then they disappear and they just come right back on her back. So this allows you to do a lot of cool stuff and it just looks super duper nice.
So business up front, party in the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a robot that shoots for you, and you can also do cool things with him, like you can glide down a little bit and stuff. The cool thing about the robot being able to shoot for you is you can still attack while it's shooting, unlike in Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. So there's a lot of moments in the game where a bunch of robots, and I mean a bunch of robots, will be shooting at you with these red orbs, and you can shoot the orbs so they don't hit you, but you want to hit the enemies while you're shooting those orbs. So you have to kind of shoot those while you're hitting the enemies at the same time. And it's really messy, but it's fun and challenging.
That sounds like a lot to keep up with. Does it flow well?
It does. It flows really well. I feel like there's definitely a learning curve. Like I was really bad at the beginning, then I started to get better, you know? The combat's super nice. There's a little dodging, dashing mechanic where if you dodge perfect time before they're about to hit you, you'll do this cool little parry attack. The gameplay is really nice and fluid. It feels just as nice as it did in like Devil May Cry 3 or the Bayonetta games. The art style is amazing. I love it because it's a good mix of Japanese anime, you know, and then it looks pretty realistic and nice. The textures and colors are amazing.
I like the color. It's like usually when you see a palette that is mostly comprised of earth tones, it usually looks ugly, but I think Nier Automata rocks it.
Yeah, everything looks all brown and stuff, and then you see colors and you're like, oh, this is fucking pretty.
It really helps the colors pop when they're up against all that brown and gray and stuff.
My favorite part of the game so far when I was playing it is the fact that 1 second I'll be playing and it'll be your standard third-person beat-em-up game, and then all of a sudden it goes into a 2D platforming beat-em-up, and then it goes into a top-down beat-em-up, and it does this all seamlessly.
We have a doggo, he sheds. Bronco.
Rocco, go lay down. Go lay down.
Bronco.
Go. Bye, friend.
You're a menace. Oh, he's slow.
Hey, go lay down. Go.
Oh.
Okay.
It's okay, the red fern is not growing. It's chill.
Oh, fuck.
He wants to be a part
Fuck,
of the
what was he saying?
There we go.
Gross. He even wipes his nose.
Because he stinks. God. Yo, German Shepherds, I love them, but this dog is hella shedding, and it feels like this fur is going to be a part of my genes for the rest of my life.
He's so fluffy and nice. Oh, please don't.
Aww.
Here.
Go lay down. Those are good doggo sounds.
So, it goes back from 2D platforming to top-down, so your standard third-person beat-em-up, and it does it within, like, seconds at certain times, but it feels super-duper nice, and it never feels, like, too much. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't feel like you need to relearn the controls once it does a little shift or anything, and it just changes the game up enough to where it never felt stale. Everything felt completely different, and also, the music in that game is fucking fantastic.
I've heard it's got a solid soundtrack.
It's something that I think I would want to download and listen to while I'm doing homework. It's really good.
So the next game you want to purchase?
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. It's $60 right now, which I understand. I just don't want to.
Anything else in the back burner you want to buy right now?
I want to buy that, and I want to buy all of the Dark Souls / Demon Souls games.
Jeez, that's 4 games?
Yeah.
And so do you want to get the DLC too, or are you just like content with the story?
We'll see.
I don't know how deep I want to go.
I've been playing Bloodborne a lot still, and once I'm finished playing Bloodborne, I want to have more. And I feel like now that I've played Bloodborne, I'll like Dark Souls more, because I played Dark Souls 2 first, and I wasn't too into it. Mm-hmm. Then I tried the third one, and I liked it, but I wasn't too into it. Mm-hmm. But Bloodborne has made me crave nothing but Bloodborne since I've gotten it.
So do you think you're going on a giant bender and then you're going to hate Bloodborne and Dark Souls for the rest of your life?
Probably. It's gave me a lot of stress, made me pull out a lot of hair, and made me hit things I never thought I would hit, like my girlfriend. I'm kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you look up your local... what is it called? Domestic abuse shelter?
No, so she'll be laying, like, I'll be sitting up and she'll be laying her head on my belly, basically, right? And then I'll get killed and I'll be mad and I want to like slam my hands down onto my lap. But then she's there, so I'm like, whoo! And I like barely tap her because I'm able to stop myself quick enough. And then she kind of looks at me and I'm like, you need to go.
I love you, baby, but if you don't want to be in this warpath,
Step aside.
What you been listening to?
I've been on a huge pop kick lately. I'll start off with my pop kick.
Start with the pop kick.
I've been trying to find new artists because a lot of what I listen to right now, it feels like are male pop artists, except for Carly Rae Jepsen. She's my bae.
Didn't we in Ariana Grande for a little bit?
And her, yeah. I like her, but I can't listen to her that often. There's like a handful of tracks off her album that I love, and that's about it.
Oh, so it's not like a whole album that's good.
Yeah.
Right? It's like more of the singles.
Kinda, yeah, basically.
All right, I got you.
And that's kind of how I feel with Taylor Swift, too. I like her, but I can't listen to her like I can listen to Carly Rae Jepsen. So I've been trying to find more. And first off, I've been listening to Tove Lo, which I think she's more mainstream out of what I've been listening to lately.
I don't know if I've ever heard her on the radio, but
You might. I'd have to play a song for you. But
that's
I've been listening to her older album, Queen of the Clouds, because it has the song Habits on it. And I used to listen to that song every morning at 5:30 in the morning when I had to wake up with my mom at 5:30 in the morning. And she would put on that TV channel.
at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. And it would always play this fucking song. And I hated it. And I found it again, and I love it. This is like the kind of song that I'll play while I'm in the car alone and sing my heart out.
So what you're telling me is you have Stockholm Syndrome?
Yes, and it's weird, but I love it. I've also been listening to the album Working Girl by Little Boots, and it's more of the dance electronic side of pop.
Dance in your little boots?
Yeah, I'll dance in my little boots.
Don't dance in my little tiny feet.
My little
Get on
feet.
the dance floor.
My little big feet that people don't know are big because I wear little boots. I'm sorry.
I wear my big feet in my little boots. I don't take up much room on the dance floor because I got little boots.
I got little boots, but with big feet. My toes don't stick out. That's not what those are.
I got Sora feet.
Oh, God.
Do you think he has like regular sized feet but just big ass shoes?
Dude.
Or do you think he has just like freak Bigfoot feet?
I hope he has little feet and big shoes because I just want to imagine the rest of it being steel toe or something, or flappy, so when he kicks someone, it just like smacks him on the face like a wet glove.
Jesus. Steel toe boots don't do that, Chris.
That's why he's got nothing in there. It's just whack.
He doesn't have feet. All he has is boots. Little boots.
Fuck me up, man. Working Girl by Little Boots. It's super good, super dancey. I don't know if it's really great driving music to me. It was pretty good when I was listening to it while doing homework, but it's just really fun, poppy, makes me bounce a little bit, and I like it.
Oh, did you finally find something you could listen to while doing homework?
I listen to a lot of video game music while I'm doing homework.
Not bad.
I could maybe listen to that. I just can't really have lyrics, because then I just pay attention to that.
I feel that.
Other than that, Blink-182 released a new song, Parking Lot, for the deluxe version of California, and it's super fucking good. The deluxe version of California is going to have 11 new songs, and it comes out May 19th. And judging by this song, I'm going to like the deluxe version. They stated that it's a little more experimental or a little more punky. They said it was going to be different. And this song's definitely got like more chunk to the punk. Ooh, that rhymed. It's very punky, very
Fuck
heavy,
off real quick.
very fast. It sounds like something that could go off of Dude Ranch, or something that I would hear off a new Neck Deep album, maybe. It's super good, still super poppy, and it's the first Blink song, new Blink song, where I think Mark is my favorite part because his light, sweet, soft, sexy voice fits so well with the heavy stuff. I love it.
So you're telling me they've finally gotten out of their scene phase?
I think so.
Because they were into some like darker music for like I'd like to say like a good decade, honestly.
Yeah. Well, with California and then this deluxe version, they're just super happy and poppy. This sounds like Enema of State, like what you would hear right after Enema of State, probably. Which is good, because I think a lot of people loved Enema of State.
Do you think Tom DeLonge was just a downer?
Probably. Now he's fucking researching aliens and stuff with NASA.
I think he's a fucking flat earther.
I think he won an award last year for
You're shitting
like
me.
I swear on my life for like researching aliens or something. He won an award.
All right, man.
I have to look it up while you're talking about your stuff.
Are you done with your stuff?
I got one more.
All right, go for it.
Tiger's Jaw announced a new album called Spin with a new song called Guardian, and it's fucking great. The album comes out May 19th, and this song is super summery. Like, the album is coming out perfect time, man. It's got tambourines in it, maracas, not super loud, they're like in the background, but this sounds like a super duper fun pop punk summer album that I think I'll play a lot in the car. It's definitely good to hear too after their last album Charmer, which was super duper down and depressing since 3 of the band members left.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
And they basically said like, hey, we're leaving after this album. Like, they knew it was happening. So this album's literally just the 2 singers, but the chick plays piano and sings. Her name's Brianna, and then the dude Ben, I saw it in the video for the song. He was tracking the drums, the bass, and the guitar, and doing stuff with the maracas. But
we got a one-man band.
it's super good. He sings the whole song, and Brianna does a lot of the backing vocals in the chorus, but I hope that Brianna does some of the main songs because her song Hum was one of my favorite songs off the last album. She's got a pretty ass voice, man. But I'm super excited for that album, and that's basically all I've been listening to.
All right, let's kick it over to me, and you can research Tom DeLonge and aliens.
Tom DeLonge!
Speaking of aliens and Earth and stuff, I mentioned flat earthers before. Shaquille O'Neal is a flat earther.
What?
Yeah, he was talking in some like sports commentating thing, and he admitted to being a flat earther. He was like, I've been across this whole country, and I ain't seen no curvature. And it's just like, but Shaquille O'Neal, it's very gradual. The planet's very big.
Oh, I found it. Tom DeLonge wins UFO Researcher of the Year award.
Do you think that's like a participation trophy, or?
I don't know. It's from Open Minds, and I've never heard of that.
All right.
All right, you go.
Tom DeLonge, UFO researcher, the more you know. Basically, all I listened to this week was... I'm sorry if I'm making any noise. I bought a fidget spinner because I pick it myself, and if I didn't have this, I probably wouldn't have any eyebrows. I do that. You like bite your lips, and
I bite my nails and my lips constantly.
And so I bought this to keep my hands busy and to keep my mind busy. If you hear it in the recording, I'm going to put it under the table. I'm very sorry, but I need it so that...
What are those things called?
They're fidget spinners.
Okay, I'm going to look one up because I need one.
Like, straight up audience at home. This is one of the best self-help decisions I've made in my life.
Dude, I found one for like $2.
I'd get like an 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Because you don't want it to be too cheap. It's basically just, I think they're called bezels or something like that, but you just spin it, like it's a 3-pronged spinning thing. It's made of metal and hard plastic for your dumb baby needs. It's good for people with like ADD, ADHD. It's good to focus on. It makes a pretty pleasant sound. I forget exactly which model I purchased, but it was about $10. Back to music. All I was listening to this week was stuff I could listen to while I was editing, because last week's podcast was a monster.
Yeah, it was a monster for our standards.
Yeah, we don't usually go into the hour mark too often, and then we went beyond.
We're still big old babies.
We went Batman Beyond. So I started out with Infinite World's new album, Vagabond. I saw it had an A on AV Club, and I was just like, sure. It's an 8-track EP. I think it just came out. And it's really... I'm usually not into really twee kind of 2012 indie music. You know, the kind of stuff you'd find on, like, that wavery, willowy voice you'd hear on, like, SoundCloud of somebody covering, like, Skinny Love or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm talking about. But I actually really do like it. It's really impressive instrumentation. I really like the music video because it's, like, weird, surreal shit intercut with her in an aquarium. And it's just funny, and I like it. That's about all I can say. I don't really have too many reasons for it. After that, I listened to a couple tracks off of POD's new album, Chill, Dummy.
Chill, dummy.
Chill, you dummy. And it's like real... It's real, like, You'd think because of the title it would be like more relaxed, but it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense, and it's got a lot of clever lyrics in there, a lot of good punchlines, clever wordplay from POD. It's just good stuff. I'd give it a listen. I only got through like the first 3 tracks before I was taking a break, and I saw that Sorority Noise released a new album. You're Not As Blank As You Think. It's not the word blank. It's like literally like 5 underscores.
Yeah. They're really good.
It's super fucking intense. It's real intense. It's talking about, I think, the singer's depression, and track 2, A Portrait Of, is just him talking about like not wanting to lose any more friends to suicide, and how he himself suffers through depression, and how, like, at the very end, it's like during the bridge, he's just spilling his guts, and it really is relatable, because it's like you go through puberty and then it hits you, and then you have to deal with it, and you have to work so much harder at life to just be happy.
Oh, exactly. Yep.
And it's hard to listen to, but at the same time, I've listened to that song more than any other track off that album. The rest of it is super solid. I think the best part is, I love bands that do this, when you got a really chill sounding singer, and you have just crazy instrumentals in the background, just blaring away, the drums are blasting, everything's loud and stupid. I think that's my favorite kind of pop punk right now.
That's one of the reasons I really liked that Modern Baseball album. I felt like there were a lot of times, especially in Jake's part, where the instruments got really loud and he was just kind of, subtle and not too high-pitched or anything. But
yeah, I think that's, like, a lot of pop punk bands make the mistake of thinking that their singers are hot shit. And that's not to be an insult, but it's usually like pop punk singers, they're not doing really too much amazing with their voice. It's not like they're Freddie Mercury. But the instrumentals are always amazing, so letting the instrumentals breathe, I think really adds to an album.
Yeah, I listened to their last album a lot, Joy Departed, and it was super good. I just haven't found the right time to listen to this album, because I know it's one that I'm definitely going to have to listen to when I'm just chilling out through headphones if I want to get the legit experience,
It feels like the new, what band? Hold on, I'm going to look for it. The Hotelier. It feels like the new Hotelier album, where you just really need to listen to it with a pair of headphones to get the experience that I feel like the album intends. It's really personal. Speaking of, I really love the new Hotelier album.
See, I hated it, and then I listened to it with you, and I loved it. So I think it's one you also have to give a few tries to.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do that with an album. Like, I think the new Menzingers album, it didn't take me till maybe my second listen through to start loving it.
Really? First track, I was just like, ooh, I'm sold.
I was like, I started listening to it, and I was like, this is kind of corny.
Really?
And then
boy,
I started listening to it again, and I listened to it again, and I listened to it again, and I listened to it again, and I was like, I might like this album.
And then I listened to it again, and again, and again.
I think I was literally listening to it yesterday, too. Like, I have to stop myself from listening to it, because it's like a fallback album, and I want to listen to new stuff.
Yeah, I also don't want to wear it out.
I want this album to be fresh in my mind for the end of the year season, which, actually, we just changed our policy on end of the year lists.
Thank God, maybe it'll be more interesting.
Because me and Chris are broke college kids, we're not going out and buying the newest tech, the newest stuff, and like the newest games, or really going out to see movies too often because we don't have enough time. We're just going for stuff we experience over the course of the year, not like the new stuff, not things that came out in 2017, just anything we experienced that was new.
Yeah.
And I think that'll make the list a lot better, because I've been playing some old-ass PC games that I really want to talk about.
Yeah, and I think it's good, too, because I feel like in our day and age, we're too focused on checking out the new stuff and the new stuff and the new stuff. And I like going back and being like, wow, this came out 10 years ago, and it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, look what they did right. Buck industry trends. So that's our new policy. We're hoping to get you guys interested in some new things by listening to this podcast. But anyway, on to some bad shit you should avoid. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was some Bjork. The Leather Special by Amy Schumer came out.
I didn't even bother to try checking it out.
See, that was my thing. I didn't want to check it out, but so many people were shitting on it. I was like, how bad could it possibly be?
She shit on our hometown. On a Facebook video.
She actually talked about Reno in her stand-up special towards the end.
Really? Did she say it was shitty? Because that's what she said on the Facebook special.
No, she was talking about, it was some terrible Bradley Cooper special. No, not Bradley Cooper special, Bradley Cooper bit. And here's a quick review of that. So I'm not huge into stand-up. I do like a few comedians. I do follow them pretty closely. I love Louis C.K. like everybody does. I'm a basic bitch like that. My favorite comedian right now is Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr!
I haven't watched much stand-up comedy, man.
Oh my
Should
God.
I start with Bill Burr?
Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle has a couple of new specials.
They're on
out.
Netflix too, aren't they?
You got a ton of great specials on. There's Jim Gaffigan on.
I've seen a little bit of Jim Gaffigan. I like him.
He's good family-friendly humor. I like him.
Yeah. Very
Relatable. But I'd say start with stuff like Bill Burr and progress your way up. Just guys like Bill Hicks or, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name. Grumpy Old Man.
Grumpy old man.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember his name. He's so influential to being a nihilist cynic. It'll come to me. But Amy Schumer, her whole bit is that she is a woman. And she can say bad words. And it finally dawned on me today that she doesn't have a good character. So, feel me here. When you watch Bill Hicks stand up, you're kind of listening for like that a little bit of an ecclesiate sort of guy, you know, like the upper crust looking down.
They all kind of have like a persona they want to convey.
Yeah. With Bill Burr, it's like the Jersey guy, the Bostonian, hard-bitten.
Yeah.
He'll say slurs at you because and won't think twice about it. Fucking Louis C.K. is the everyman, making observations on our world. She doesn't really have anything. Her personality is that she swears.
Yeah, she kind of seems like her personality is I get drunk and I swear a lot. That's it.
And it's really awkward because, like, she had this bit about, like, having diarrhea with her boyfriend. And she has all these bits about how bad her pussy smells. And how gross and ugly she is. But then she has, like, a lot of weird moments where she, like, humble brags. Where it's like, oh, my show was nominated for a Peabody. You know, I'm around all these smart people. And a lot of it comes off as, I'm rich and famous, Bradley Cooper, why won't you fuck me? And, like, it's terrible. And there was this one bit where she was, like, talking about gun control. And there was another comedian that did it so much better. He's a British guy. I completely forget his name. He has good stand-up. He's good about, I think he does a lot of bits about atheism and stuff like that. He's really smug, but he's pretty funny. Not in, like, that, like, smug, like, I'm better than you sort of way. Just making light of things. I'm off track. But Amy Schumer had a gun control bit, like, right after talking about spraying diarrhea into a toilet bowl and making machine gun sounds. And she was like, she got real serious for a second. And it was just like, yeah, 2 of my fans, when they were going to see the movie Trainwreck, they got shot dead. And it was, like, real fucking intense. And then she goes into a bit where it's like, I want to get fucked hard by Bradley Cooper. And it's like, you end your stand-up show on the downer. You don't put that in the middle. You don't put gun control, this is serious, we need to make sure that mentally ill people don't get guns, and this, that, and the other thing, and then say, I want to get fucked hard by Brad C.
Damn, dude.
It had a serious tonal problem. A lot of it was really juvenile. Like, you put your politics into your stand-up. Like, a lot of people do that. Bill Hicks did that. And Bill Hicks is fucking brilliant, and I love Bill Hicks. But do it subtly. Don't fucking ram it down people's throats. She had this really obvious, like, feminist agenda going.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can put that in your stand-up, but do it with a little more grace. It felt like stupid poop jokes, and then this feminist sledgehammer would come down and fucking just...
Like she's not good at hiding it or meshing it well with everything else.
You don't have to hide it. You just have to mesh it well.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that it flows. And her stand-up had no fucking flow. And it felt like she didn't know where bits should stop, and it felt like she'd trail on for too long. Or if she thought a bit was working, she'd, like, play the audience for too long. And it was awkward. Like, don't watch that stand-up special. Watch the new Dave Chappelle ones, because it's Dave Chappelle. I'm sure they're much funnier. Rant over.
Rant over. I mean, that was a little depressing how bad it was.
You know what's worse? Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, that's a little more depressing. I
Okay.
think Mass Effect Andromeda is a little more depressing because we had high hopes for that. Or at least, like,
I didn't.
I didn't, because I'm not a Mass Effect fan, but I know so many people who are diehard fans, man.
I have a story. My girlfriend was talking to this guy in like chemistry lab, and she was just like, "Oh, what are you gonna do over spring break?" And she's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna play Legend of Zelda until my eyes fall out." And he was just like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna be playing Mass Effect Andromeda," and she was just like,
Have you seen anything for that, boy?
"So Mass Effect Andromeda looks like it was animated by aliens that vaguely know what people look like."
And it had a... How high was the budget?
$40 million, and I have no idea how much of that was put into marketing, or how much extra.
Do you know how many times I could pay for college?
It's 100,000.
A lot.
Being a liberal arts major, you could pay for a lot of college.
Yeah.
So, with $40 million, and I think at least 3 years in the cooker, correct me on that one. I started hearing about Andromeda in about 2014, if I remember correctly. So 3 years in the cooker, $40 million, and it looks like ass.
Isaiah was like, dude, you gotta look at these facial animations for Mass Effect. And I was like, all right. I put it into the Google machine, and there are hundreds of videos of people laughing at the fucking facial animations.
It looks like they knew that muscles for the face exist. They just don't know where they are or how they work.
When they happen.
It's the ugliest, like, most amateur. It looks like 2007 came back and pulled Mass Effect down with it.
The other problem I have with it is the graphics themselves don't look that great to me.
No, I'd argue that the backgrounds look good.
Yeah, but the characters themselves to
The
me,
characters look like ass.
I think that the alien characters look really good.
Except
but
for
the
the
humans,
sorry characters. Like the blue chicks, they look
yeah.
terrible.
But because they look so humanized.
Yeah.
But anything that's human, they look really cartoony and clay. They look like clay to me.
Like that one chick, I don't know who she is. She looks like she has like caked on foundation and blush. And
Are you
it's
talking
like-
about the main chick
No,
or whatever?
not the main chick. The one that with the short hair.
Oh, yeah.
She like had the little bob cut, and it looked like she had clay and foundation on her face, and it wasn't a good look. Like the Krogan look all right. I forget what the third race is. I'm sure there's more new races, but nobody looked good. Like it looked like the black dude's skin was melting. It's like the white people look like they have clay faces, and the black dudes look like they're melting.
And the blue people just look weird.
They look ugly. That one chick looks like Shrek.
You'll see people like grabbing another
Somebody once
person's.
told me a galaxy far, far away.
I hate
Holy
you.
shit.
You'll see one person grabbing another person's gun right before they shoot, and they're making some funky ass like happy face, almost like, "Ooh, look at me, I'm getting shot."
It's like she makes this like awkward fumbling like she just learned how to disarm somebody, and then she points it, and then she looks constipated.
You see someone point a gun at another person, and they're pointing it the wrong way, like they're pointing the chamber to themselves.
3 years in the cooker and $40 million produced this.
This reminds me of Sonic Boom.
God, actually, speaking of Sonic, 2 pieces of Sonic news. They are making a new Sonic game called Sonic Force, and it looks like a sequel to Sonic Generations. So there is hope. Sonic Generations, I've heard, is really good. And the bad news is they're pushing Sonic Mania back till May, I think. Oh, and guess what else is getting pushed back till fucking May? Strafe.
Strafe. That game looks fucking cool.
So Strafe is a procedurally generated 90s-esque first-person shooter. It looks hella dumb.
It looks hella dumb,
Like go
good.
go into Steam right now. Or if you don't have Steam, go into Yahoo or Google.
Pause
or
this podcast
Don't
right
pause
now.
this podcast.
Well, okay, listen to us, but watch the video at the
Can't
same
stop
time.
the funk.
Are you gonna start fucking breaking out with some funk?
Yes, and watch the trailers for Strafe because they're hella dumb. Especially the one with the 90s kids in them. So fucking funny. It's like the kid's face melts because he loses and his head explodes and his mom's like trying to form his head back together by hand.
It's so gross. It's so good.
It's really fucked up, but it's good fucked up. So I'm excited for Strafe, but it's pushed back till May, which is fucked.
Good fucked up. I like it.
But that's the Sonic news. Sonic Mania, I'm actually excited for. This is the first Sonic game I've actually looked at.
Is
and I've been like,
Is Sonic Mania supposed to be another 2D platforming one?
yes.
Is it on the DS?
I don't think it's going to be on the 3DS, but it is going to be on the PS4,
Okay.
Switch, maybe the Wii U, and I know it's going to be on the PC. So it's made by people that used to make fan hacks of Sonic games.
Uh-huh.
So it's people that have a very obvious passion for the Sonic franchise. And it's really good to see people like this actually making video games and being put out there.
Make
by the
Sonic
people.
great again.
Yeah, shut up. The show doesn't have no politics in it. You got any news you want to share, Chris?
Any news? I don't follow too much news. I follow a lot of tech news. That's
What
about
do you
it.
want to talk about in terms of tech? That'd be cool.
I follow a lot of
me
Apple stuff because I'm an Apple nerd. I'm
So
sorry.
anyway,
Yeah. They just released a product red iPhone, which is like a matte red finish with a white face. All of the proceeds, I don't know about all actually, but a lot of the proceeds go to HIV/AIDS research.
and it looks super. It's like a deep maroon crimson,
Yeah.
which looks fly as fuck.
It's really good, and the color kind of changes depending on the angle you're looking at it because of the lighting. And the Apple logo will change from like white to black depending. And it's just really pretty. Not a reason to get a new phone, obviously, but I think it's really cool that they're adding new colors, and it makes me think they should add more new colors like a green or a yellow or a blue, something nice.
A navy. I would go for a navy.
A navy blue, like
Like if I had to upgrade, actually no, I'm going for like a Samsung next time.
the Samsung, the Galaxy S8, the leaked images I see of it look fucking awesome. Like I won't switch over, but it looks really good.
Like they're devoting a lot more to screen priority. They're completely removing the buttons off the face, right?
Yeah, a lot of the phones, just like the LG G6, are taking away buttons from the front and they're making the bezels a lot smaller, but the phones are going to be the same size. So you get more screen real estate, but the same size phone, which is really fucking cool.
My girlfriend has a phone like that where the buttons are on the back.
Yeah,
their
like you have
volume
the
and power.
home button and the
Yeah.
The only problem I have with that is there's a lot of times where I'll have my phone laying down on a table and then I press on the home button to unlock the phone.
I think it has like a sort of a thing where you can just double tap the screen.
Yeah, but then again, you have to type a passcode, which isn't too bad. I'm just privileged with my fingerprint reader. That was the big news. Otherwise, they released a cheap iPad, more watch bands, more screen or phone cases. That's it. A lot of spraying colors. I'm a little sad. I just got an Apple Watch recently, and I got the Series 1, which only supports a sports band, and then third-party bands. So I can't get the nylon bands, and it makes me sad because the new nylon bands look fucking pretty. Like, they'll be... Like, there's this one color that's berry. I wouldn't get it because it seems like more for chicks.
Yeah.
But it's got, like, lightish pink, a yellow, and a darkish pink, almost purple. Just, like, 3 colors right there, and it looks really pretty, really good.
That sounds pretty sexy.
I like
don't
it.
know, man.
But that's the news that I follow. I listen to a lot of tech podcasts and stuff, and they talk about that kind of stuff.
Speaking of tech, one of the biggest, most beloved YouTubers on the platform is embroiled in some serious controversy. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
PewDiePie, it's Darkside Phil.
This boy, PewDiePie was fucking getting trashed on earlier.
Oh, he was. That was so like. I don't talk about politics often, but that was fucked up.
I had no comment on it.
Like straight up, if it was a joke and it was very obviously a joke.
Yeah.
Like I think, like, as a person that loves comedy, I think you should be able to joke about whatever you want.
Yeah.
Regardless of the size of your audience. Like Louis C.K. makes some horrible jokes. Like he said he would have stopped. He would have stopped Hitler by going back in time and not killing him but raping him.
Okay.
So
Whoa.
So if we're not gonna go up other people's asses, I think it's because it's not. When you get on a stage and you have a Netflix special, it's kind of assumed you're gonna talk about some dirty, stupid shit. But when you're on YouTube, talking to millions of people, just like Louis C.K. talks to millions of people, I guess it's different. I
always thought
personally know.
YouTube would be a little more grittier and accepting of this kind of shit, but I think it's because he has such a big audience of so many different people. It just got taken out of proportion.
I think it's also because of little kids.
Yeah.
Like he does
Oh
a
yeah, because
big
he has a
following with
lot of little kids, which is surprising because his stuff isn't very kid friendly.
And that's the thing to me. It's like
Like you should know.
you should know what you're getting into. One, and I think if you're a content creator, you should be able to make what you want.
Yeah.
Like, as long as it's following YouTube guidelines.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't watched PewDiePie in years because I just grew out of it. But even back in the early days, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't let my little siblings watch this.
Exactly. It's very weird. I think it's just because he's a charismatic guy that he has such a following. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
But anyway, back on topic. That's not political, I don't think. That's
No.
not political.
We don't talk about politics, so we can talk about whatever we want and say if it is politics or not.
I decide if it's fucking fun. Is this 1984? Shit.
Yeah.
But Darkside Phil, my favorite YouTuber. Well, not really. Here's actually one of our first videos on YouTube. Should we announce this?
Sure.
All right. So in the works right now, me and Chris have a documentary about my favorite YouTuber, Darkside Phil.
We're going to be kissing his asshole.
Oh no. So we're not going to shit on this guy in the documentary. It's going to be just kind of talking about his content and how it's changed throughout the years. If you know anything about Darkside Phil, just look right now. Look up "This Is How You Don't Play" or DSP Tries It. It's fantastic. But
It's fantastic in a bad way.
it's so bad it's hilarious. Basically, this guy is fucking hilarious because he is so inept that he doesn't change. It's like he doesn't change his content. It took him forever to adopt direct capture, so he'd literally point a camera at his screen, and sometimes he'd like move his hands in front of the fucking screen, so the camera would have to take 3 to 4 seconds to like readjust. And you would watch him do this, and he'd just point his fucking camera at the screen. It would look like ass, and it would sound like ass, because he was recording it with just his microphone on the camera, and it was bloomed out to shit. And somehow he got over 100,000 subscribers. I don't know how.
That's some bucks, man.
But a little bit of credit to him. He was actually one of the first YouTubers to make a livable wage off of YouTube. So I'd say that props to him for that. But recently, as in I think last week or the week before, he talked about his CPM, and that's his compensation rate per 1,000 views. And that is a huge no-no.
Even I don't deal with anything in the business, but even I know you don't talk about financial stuff like that to people. No.
And this has been coming off of the tail of him shitting on Machinima and YouTube for years, which are his platforms, and shitting on Twitch for years, which is a place where he now streams. He's basically poisoning the well everywhere he goes, and I don't think he knows he's doing it, which is interesting, because you would think you'd kind of have to know. Like, you don't shit where you work.
Exactly.
Unless there's a toilet. But you don't shit on the people who feed you. And pay
Unless
your
you're
bills.
huge. I know that PewDiePie shits a lot on YouTube.
Like, oh man, no, it's not even that. It's like, it's not like the weird YouTube censorship stuff or the weird YouTube changes that will occur. He shits on Angry Joe for that, but then he makes videos about it. It's super weird. It's more that he's not getting paid enough to do this, and it's like he's not taking responsibility for his part in it, in uploading. Let me give you a frame of reference, everybody. PewDiePie on his main channel has, I think, 4,000 something videos, like maybe 10,000, something like that.
He has a lot.
Game Grumps has 4,000 videos total over a career that has stretched from 2011. So it's been 6 years. Over the course of 8 years, Darkside Phil has accrued, oh, Jesus Christ, 40,000 videos on his main channel. 40,000, and that's not counting DSP, like his blog.
Oh yeah,
channel,
his
which
second
has
channel.
1,000 videos.
Jesus.
And on his third channel, KO Gaming, it has at least 150. So he has.
It's about quality,
Thousands
not
of-
quantity.
And here's the thing. Here's my thing with Darkside Phil. Okay, in the early days, he was making money hand over fist, right? He was spending it on a bunch of dumb shit, like statues. Like there's this huge. In some of his early videos, you can see in the background this massive statue of a tank from Left 4 Dead. Huge. It was like 16 inches tall, God knows how wide, maybe like 20 inches wide.
That's cool.
It was super cool. I'm not shitting on that. That's super fucking cool. But you could tell that thing was at least $1,000.
Yeah.
And he had statues of damn near every class from TF2. He would get special editions of every game. When he could have been putting this money towards hiring an editor or expanding. Literally, I think he had somebody else put his website together. When he could have been, collaborating with other YouTube channels, because that's so fucking vital.
Yeah.
That is so vital. Every channel
I see it all the time within the tech community, too.
with Game Grumps. Like, you see that
Yeah.
all the time. They made a show specifically to have crossover.
Yeah, guest grumps. Yeah.
No, it was Grumpcade, right?
Oh, and Grumpcade, yeah.
They just have channels, and like everybody crosses over because it is the cross-pollination of audiences.
It's a great way.
Phil thinks it is stealing views for some reason. It's not. One of the reasons we went to Kid Empire and did a podcast with them is because Kid Empire has a following, and they could get promotion from our podcast. It's that simple. You do promotions not only because, well, from a social standpoint, it's like, hey, I get to meet new friends and talk to cool people.
Yeah.
But from a business standpoint, you get cross-pollination. You get new people coming to your stuff and going from yours and finding new things. Mm-hmm. It is 100% mutually beneficial. I've never seen a crossover that went sour. Mm-mm. Well, except with Darkside Phil.
Oh, sad.
We're going to cover that in the documentary. Suffice to say, I think it's the end for him.
Sorry, Darkside Phil. You've had a okay run?
He's had his ups and downs.
Yeah.
He says,
I haven't watched anything from you, so I won't judge yet.
I've watched more than my fair share of Darkside Phil.
I have been tasked to watch more. I think I'm going to watch him trying different food things. At least one or two of them, because he tried that naked chicken chalupa, and I really liked that.
Naked Chicken Chalupa is something else, man.
That was
we talked
good.
about that on a podcast. No, that was the episode that got deleted.
Was it?
That was episode 8, right?
Oh, we got to check, and we got to open with it again, because that was a good fucking taco.
That was a good taco. That was a good taco. But, Chris, you got anything else to say?
No,
Anything
just
else
don't
on
be
taco?
like Darkside Phil and
Just
get
don't
that
be like
taco.
Darkside Phil. Just don't be like Darkside Phil.
Get that taco.
Anyway, we're nearing the 50-minute mark, and we're having a busy night after this. So, in closing, I'm Mike.
And I'm Christian.
And did you know your buddy has a podcast? Have a good night.